Before Dragon is considered fully docked, umbilicals from Dragon will also connect to the space station. The top left, you will see the range and the range rate. These numbers are showing how far Dragon is away from the station.
A family in Las Vegas insisting something is out there after allegedly having a close encounter of the third kind. I swear to God, this is not a joke. One witness calling 911 after they say an object fell out of the sky and landed in their backyard. They're like 9 foot, 10 foot tall. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes, they have big eyes. Speaking of James Cameron, another person closely familiar with the Titanic is the director, James Cameron himself, along with his Oscar-winning movie. Mr. Cameron, I understand you've made a number of dives to the wreckage site, too. Just give us your sense on what you're feeling right now, looking at these images of the shipwreck that you studied so closely, and now hearing that another tragedy has been tied to the same area. Well, I've been down there many times. I know the wreck site very well, as does my friend Bob Ballard. I've made 33 dives. I actually calculated that I've spent more time on the ship than the captain did back in the day.
33 dives.
This evening at about just after 11:30, we were called to a bus rollover at Greta on the highway near Cessnock. There we found approximately 37 patients that were involved in a bus accident.
It's a delicate operation.
Authorities in India say at least 288 people have been killed in a railway accident in the east of the country. Hundreds more were injured in what's being called the worst train accident in decades.
Thank you. Come again.
The police arrived and pursued the attacker, a 31-year-old Syrian national who is also a registered refugee. Mr. Latalek said the police officers drew their weapons. I said to the police, shoot him, kill him. He's stabbing everyone. Meanwhile, he's attacking once, then twice, then the police began to shoot. The children targeted in this shocking incident were aged between 22 months and 3 years.
22 months and 3 years.
It was here, the place where their children learnt and lived, that their mothers met. The families of both Barnaby Miller and Grace O'Malley Kumar came to share support and hold each other tight. The two students were both 19 years old.
19 years old.
Their lives filled with energy and opportunities.
Bullshit alert. Bullshit alert.
But everything stopped early on Tuesday morning when they were stabbed to death as they made their way home after a night out in Nottingham. Their fathers wanted to speak to the thousands standing silently on campus.
Bullshit alert. Bullshit alert.
I've lost my baby boy, and I can't even comprehend how I'm going to deal with it. Myself and Emma and Charlie and all his family and friends. Well, I know Barney would be super touched by everyone that's here, and he loved it. he loved it here. He couldn't wait to come back.
The love that we have out here, I just wish we had it everywhere. So, look after each other. That's the big thing, is that look after your friends and look after people around you.
Still scattered on the floor, the suspect's cap, bag and jacket. He'd just been pulled out of this van at gunpoint. There were bullet holes in the windscreen of the vehicle, but the suspect was dragged out alive.
I heard the police straight away, and as soon as I heard it, I came to the window, and then I saw everything. Like, I saw them draw their guns or whatever they had at him. I saw them drag him out.
He seemed to be complying with them.
No, they dragged him out. He wasn't really complying.
Next, Prince Harry has become the first senior member of the royal family to give evidence at court for 130 years after taking to the witness stand in his civil case against Mirror Group newspapers.
I think it's important to say that in Harry's case, he's got 33 articles. Well, he wins the case if he wins on only one of them.
33.
But he's really set out his manifesto in that extraordinary document. He's set out what he's trying to do. As far as he's concerned, this country is blighted with a press which is completely irresponsible and completely unaccountable. And he's made it his mission to take this on. Manifesto, 33. Manifesto, 33.
Manifesto, 33.
If there has been an 80-year cover-up, what would be your response?
It is the coming months and the coming years right now that will be crucial in what the future will look like. It is what we decide now.
My message is that we'll be watching you. This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams, my childhood with your empty words. And yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you come here saying that you're doing enough when the politics and solutions needed are still nowhere in sight. Right here, right now, is where we draw the line. Right here, right now, 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 right here, right now.
Evidence markers show where the shell casings fell to the ground. Neighbors say there were a lot of shots fired. This man didn't want his face on camera, but described what he heard.
Oh man, it was pat, 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 pat. It was like a firecracker. It sounded like a firecracker.
I mean, seriously, how often do you really look at a man's shoes?
Like, our vendor car got shot up. It was just like...
Wow, and you were set up?
Yeah, directly in front of the theater. Like, they broke our tent, they trampled our tent. It was extremely scary. Like, everything just went flying.
There was just like hundreds of cop cars.
Some were told even applying tourniquets on scene while shutting the streets down.
They had everything closed. No one could get through. There was just tons of ambulances. It was crazy. It was very hectic.
And as the ambulances arrived, they left just as quickly, taking gunshot victim after victim with them. In total, at least 22 people were struck, and at least one has since died, while many others were hurt in the melee.
Take care of the families that are probably grieving right now. That's all we can do.
Take care of the families that are probably grieving right now. That's all we can do.
Gotcha, bitch! The man known as the Unabomber died while serving 4 consecutive life sentences, decades after his reign of terror gripped the nation.
The man who came to be known as the Unabomber died on Saturday at the age of 81.
The former Unabomber, Ted Kaczynski, has died in prison.
Theodore Ted Kaczynski, known as the Unabomber, has died in federal prison.
Ted Kaczynski. In 1995, the Unabomber task force asked newspapers to publish a manifesto Kaczynski mailed them.
His manifesto.
Rambling 35,000-word manifesto.
With the publication of his manifesto,
this was where their odyssey began. The 4 children were on board this plane with their mother when the engine failed. Today it emerged that she survived the crash, but not the jungle. It was her who told the children to flee and save themselves. Four children, the eldest 13 and the youngest barely 1, set off against the jungle. For 40 days and 40 nights they toiled through the rainforest before their salvation. The search mission had been called Operation Hope, and the military deployed the voice of the children's grandmother throughout the jungle on a tannoy. But it was indigenous volunteers who found the 4 children. The eldest was hailed as a hero for using ancestral knowledge of the rainforest to keep her younger siblings safe.
The first rule of the Ukrainian counteroffensive: don't talk about the Ukrainian counteroffensive. That was the message of this video released by Ukraine's Ministry of Defense yesterday. Plans love silence, it reads. There will be no announcement of the start.
Russian mercenaries swapped trench warfare in Ukraine for armed rebellion at home. Their leader vowed to march on Moscow in the gravest threat to Vladimir Putin's rule. It triggered heightened security, global scrutiny, and this extraordinary statement from the president.
This is a criminal adventuristic campaign. It is equivalent to armed mutiny. Russia will defend itself and repel this move. We are fighting for the life and security of our citizens and our territorial integrity. It is an attempt to subvert us from inside. This is treason in the face of those who are fighting on the front. This is a stab in the back of our troops and the people of Russia.
A dramatic end to a 36-hour mutiny. Wagner chief Yevgeny Prigozhin, hailed as a hero by some in Rostov-on-Don as he began his journey into exile. Russia's president accused his Wagner fighters of being backstabbers and mutineers, but they were cheered as they returned to their field camps. The mercenaries' rebellion against the Kremlin and Defense Ministry appearing to find support from men and women on the streets, at least in this city in southern Russia.
Prigozhin is obviously a player in Vladimir Putin's political system, as all the funds, human resources, arms and weapons he gets comes from the state. He totally depends on Putin despite his rivalry and disagreements with the Ministry of Defense. So some say that Prigozhin and Putin are in cahoots, and Prigozhin plays a role of a bad guy.
Prigozhin and Putin are in cahoots, and Prigozhin plays a role of a bad guy.
Just to show everyone that Putin is much better than him, because Prigozhin brings fear and conflict, and Putin brings safety, stability, prosperity to people. All that means a lot, and people have to appreciate and vote for Mr. Putin.
Whether it was all just theatre or a genuine threat to the state, one thing's certain: the drama in Russia is far from over. just theatre.
Just theatre.
God save the Queen, man.